Halo 5, a very divisive game that is usually underappreciated and over-exaggerated. Yes, the story is incomplete and is just the middle of a 3-act story structure, and it is missing an intro and a true ending. Yes, Brian Reed should never have been the main writer, and yes, it should have been cooked a bit more in the oven. But as a game, from level design, AI, shooting, online play, it's a very good, if not fantastic, game in those regards. So let's get down to it. I'm a massive Halo fan. I've been playing since 2001. I played at a friend's house, loved it, and then over time, grabbed it on my PC because I didn't have an Xbox at the time, and I played the smeg out of it. And then when I did get an Xbox, I bought 1 and 2 and just played the living shit out of them as well. Hell, I even did Halo modding videos on my channel back in the day. Go on, give it a search. I'll wait. So when I got Halo 5 and the Collector's Edition, I honestly loved it. To an extent. I hated how incomplete and rushed the story was. I hated that it ended on a cliffhanger, and I hated that there was no in-game log of characters and events, planets, and so on. But I did love the gameplay, and the level design, and Blue Team, and the AI. The enemies, the vehicles, the music, the scale of it all. So much so that it's my most played Halo game besides Halo Reach. For you see, Halo 5 is quite stellar for the most part, and it actually started to do things that other games are now starting to bring in. It helped bring back arena multiplayer shooters for console, possibly even PC. It gave us free DLC and a way of microtransactions that you didn't even need to buy to unlock the variety of skins that the game gave you. And then you go to its level design. It was a maze, with the idea of jumping all the time, moving up and down. You had hidden areas behind destroyable environments, you had multiple paths, you had big massive arenas as you used to with most Halo games, which was all combined with fast-paced shooting, brilliant AI, and legendary weapons to find. We got online co-op that strengthened the characters who would have conversations with each other based on the context of the situation and how many people you're playing with. So if you play with Locke and Vale and something happened, they would talk to each other. And then if you were with co-op in the other characters, they would have a conversation into as well. It was actually some pretty good stuff there. And while some of these weren't implemented as well as it could have been, it's still a very functional game because of that. Like legendary weapons, for example. I loved finding them, combing the layout of the maps to find these godly weapons, but after the ammo was used or the mission ended in single player, you couldn't really use them again unless you did co-op, which at the time, and actually still is, online only. And those more in-depth character moments I talked about, well, as you're going on your journey, that doesn't really happen in single player, only co-op. So if you were playing alone, you're not going to get the bigger character development moments needed to truly love all these new characters, unless you're a massive lore nerd. And to me, these are the biggest mistakes, because Halo started out as a single player experience. Sure, back then we had co-op and split screen, but it wasn't as true as it is now. The true soul of Halo for many fans back in the day is the offline single player. The grunts fighting by your side, the feeling sad when they fell in battle, the overall story coming to a complete close, and an end that felt coherent and doable within the context we were given. It didn't feel like we had a game, story, and then it just cut itself up and then it went in a completely different direction. It was pretty coherent. To me, these are why the missed opportunities of Halo 5 suck so badly. But while at times it doesn't truly work as a Halo game, it does work as a shooting game, as a video game. You've got fast-paced action that on higher difficulties make you assess a situation and use everything at your disposal to survive. You can select what enemies you want to take out first, in whichever way you wish to fight them. Do you grenade a bunch of grunts? Do you sniper an elite in the face, taking down the big bad? Do you comb the battlefield for heavy weapons and then let loose? Or do you use the new squad mechanics, quite like Republic Commando? You can strategically send your AI team to certain areas of the environments and plan an attack. You either have them charge in on one side or the other, And as they're fighting, you come in the middle? Or do you send them in with vehicles and hope for the best? You still have those multiple options and ways to play in Halo 5, and they are better than ever, giving the new movement speeds and abilities. Dodging left, dodging right, jumping up and down, slamming into them is exhilarating fun, especially when death is near. You can even accentuate this by climbing to the top of a ridge and pounding your enemies from above into dust, which never gets old. Or, if you're really advantageous, you can run as fast as you can, Spartan charge an enemy right through a wall. Bloody hell, mate. Love it. But then you had enemies like the Prometheans where you had to fight them by finding their weak spots and then shoot them as their bodies would glow and phase in for your blood. This added a new layer to combat, which is something we really haven't seen until Doom Eternal came out in 2020. You can also do things like steal a vehicle to push through those enemy lines, but also finding ways to bring that vehicles into other elements of the map that you never thought was possible, which is honestly a fun staple of Halo's core design. Open, yet directed, yet if you want, you can do whatever the hell you think you can do. Just gotta try, right? Sure, there's issues with the game, especially for single player veterans, but you can still get a fun and excessively brilliant designed game to play, over and over again. I'd argue Halo 5 is the most replayable Halo game to date. And that's just single player. Then there's multiplayer. Big epic matches mixed with AI and taking over areas of the map, duking it out, gaining points to use on stronger weapons and vehicles. It was a tug of war of the entire map and it was just fun and epic. But then there was the arena based fighting. Boots on the ground, you all had the same loadouts, no power ups, no OP weapons, just you and your skills. Honestly, I hate how Halo 5 never truly gets respect it's due. Sure, the story is unfinished, but the level design, gameplay, and gunplay, plus the squad mechanics, and the online are still top notch. And Halo 5 still remains the funnest Halo I've played in years.